Hi there, I'm Ethan James with thehonestcarpenter.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to repair a sagging or leaning fence in your backyard, particularly taller fences like this one. This is a privacy fence, it's 6 feet tall. They're more prone to sagging over into the yard, so I'm going to show you how to get them standing up straight and secured where they're supposed to be. So what's happened with this fence, and what generally happens with all leaning fences like this, is that the post that the 2x4 or 2x6 stringers are attached to has come unseated in the ground. It wasn't anchored deeply enough or with enough concrete, and winds or gravity or just weather are pulling the fence out of the yard because it's like uprooting itself essentially. So what I'm specifically going to do in this instance is get the fence pushed back into a plumb position and probably leave this post where it is, or maybe not. I might take it out altogether, dig a new hole and seat a new post deeper. Obviously this is made a lot more difficult by the fact that there is a chain link fence behind it and I can't technically go into the neighbor's yard, but I can do all this from this side by removing a few of these pickets after I get the thing pushed up into a plumb position and digging a new footing around the old one from the front, very controlled small post hole, and dropping a new post in and footing it with plenty of concrete. So that's the plan. To address the second issue at this same job site, I'm going to do something a little different. This is further down the same fence I showed you. One of the 2x4 stringers, the top stringer, has come loose from its post, but the post is actually quite secure in this case. So all I'm going to do is cut these galv nails off here, push this fence also back up into a plumb position, and reattach to the existing post with very long screws that'll go in and bite more of this lumber. And I'll probably attach a scab or sister piece to the side that I can also drive screws through the stringer into that and just get this length of the fence more firmly attached. And that'll be easier once I get the badly sagging part way off towards the center, get that standing up plumb as well. Just as a quick idea on how to back out or get rid of nails like this, remove them, start with a hacksaw, install really close to the base. You can see I'm putting a notch in it back there. You don't have to get very far, just about halfway in. Set the saw down and either tap it with a hammer or grab it with a pair of pliers, bend a couple times, and it'll break right off. So if you want to see how to get a fence standing up straight again, all I did was take treated 2x4s, drive the heel into the ground just kind of with your foot and push them up against the fence itself. It helps if you can get the fence already kind of in an upright position by just pushing on it with your hand or your shoulder, and then you kind of pull the 2x4 down the face and it will slowly start to stand the fence up. If a post is bad enough for the fence to be leaning in the yard, then it's not going to fight you much sending it the other way. So I just use two 2x4s to get the thing in a fairly plumb condition here. You can tell the fence is really kind of crooked and wobbly all down it because it warped every time. But this would be good enough for me to start digging right down here at the base of the post that I exposed when I took off these few pickets, and I will drop in the new post beside it now that I have things standing up fairly plumb. So here I've started digging beside the ineffective post, and you can tell how rotted out this thing is. No wonder it wasn't holding on to anything anymore. But I did expose the concrete boot that it used to sit in, which is pretty big, and it's of course in the way of where I want to dig. So I'm digging to the right of it. It's not fun, this front side digging, but you can get it done. And the way I generally dig post holes is with a demolition bar, and I just gouge out the ground like this and then lift it out, put it in a bucket so I can spread it somewhere in the yard wherever the client wants me to. This keeps you from digging a post hole that's just too huge. Your post hole really only needs to be about twice the diameter of your post. So with something long and skinny like a pick, you can do it with more control. So I'm just gonna dig probably as much as 30 inches down like this, and then set my post. So here you can see I have cut my new post to length, and I have fed it in between the two fences, which was not exactly easy, down into our post hole. I only managed to get about 22 inches deep, but I hit extremely hard clay down there, so I think that should be plenty. You can also see the underside of our anchor over there, and those crazy looking screws that are sticking out. I did a video on this called Stronger Ground Posts, or Stronger Railings, and these are going to provide an anchoring surface for when I pour concrete down into the hole. These embedded screws will get essentially sunk into the concrete, and they will provide the post anchor a lot more strength, so that if the post wants to move, it's really going to be grabbing all that concrete down in the hole. So I'm ready to dump in a little bit of water and start dumping in dry concrete, and I will mix it in the hole. There's the concrete poured. Like I said, I start by adding a little water to the hole, and then I dump in saccharine powder, and then I actually mix it in the hole again using my demolition bar, and I make sure that I work it around the sides of the thing, because I didn't have the option of going to the other side today, so I have to kind of force things to go into the voids down in there in the hole using the demolition bar. But it's already starting to dry up. I left it just below grade so we can dump bark or dirt or some ground cover over this, and I will honestly probably remove the supports before I leave today, but I'm going to leave them in for now. This fast setting concrete, it's going to take some yield within like 20 or 30 minutes. It's probably already doing it right now. And next I can focus on getting these pickets back on, and things will be pretty good after that. I might add just a little more blocking as well to the left side of the pre-existing post. Here's the wrap up to the sagging fence repair. I got the new post fully embedded. As you can see, I took out the supports. I ended up adding in 3 new pickets. Doesn't look great, but the thing's standing much sturdier. It has a big odd bow going down the line, but again, I probably can't get that out because the fence sort of took on that shape over time. It's actually stable now. I'm pushing on it pretty hard. Doesn't really want to rock. I did another picket replacement down here where I did a bunch of sister pieces on the back side of the fence, but that's good enough. The thing's not going to dip into the yard anytime soon, and I think the client will be happy. For more tips and articles, check out my blog, thehonestcarpenter.com. Also, starting in September 2018, I'll begin offering online consultations for homeowners through the website. So, be sure to check in soon and get your major contracting and renovation questions answered by a trustworthy professional. I look forward to hearing from you.